Hey YouTube, this is Faith of Avon Repair Co. and I just wanted to show you the basics of how to set up Evdev passthrough on your virtual machine so that you can use the same inputs that you use on your machine normally in your virtual machine with just the press of both control buttons. It's perfect, it's seamless, it completely replaces a KVM switch in most cases, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is find out your keyboard and mouse name. So to do that, you'll want to type ls/dev/input/by-id. So you'll see that I have all of these here. The most important ones are always going to be the ones that end in event-whatever. So for example, this is my USB mouse. Unfortunately, because I don't have a USB keyboard, for me, this is not going to show up in this, my keyboard's not going to show up in this area. For me to find my keyboard, I actually have to go to the same command as I typed earlier, except by path. And let's see. So this is my keyboard because it's a laptop keyboard, the platform i8042 Serial 0 Event KBD. So you want to write those down. So I'll write those down in mousepad to show you. Just to remind you, you will want to keep these around. These are long names. If you forget them or confuse them with something else, it's just an annoying process. So that's my mouse, and this is my keyboard. Sometimes you will have like multiple things labeled the same thing. I'll link a command to try in the description if you have multiples of the same name. And then basically you try out the command with those names, and whichever one shows you garbled text is the correct one. Alright, so once you have this, you're going to want to edit your virtual machine. So you'll want to type sudo virsh edit, and then your VM name. Mine is lane station, so I put lane station there. And so the first thing is you're going to want to make sure that your domain type looks exactly like this. I'll put it in the description so you can just copy and paste it, because normally it stops at about here, but you'll need this whole thing so that the virtual machine understands what schema is being used. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to scroll down up until about, it's directly above domain, so you'll want to type domain, and so it'll basically kind of be at the end of your virtual machine configuration, and you'll want to insert this line exactly. I'll also put this in the description so you can copy and paste it and modify it to your own needs. But basically this tells QEMU running through virt-manager to use these for Evdev passthrough. And these commands aren't actually related to the keyboard. This is just what I personally have to have my virtual machine audio run through Pulse Audio, because of the fact that my intention was to use Looking Glass to play all my games, but my laptop's a little slower, but I'm keeping that there anyway just so all the sound comes out of my laptop, because I don't want to bother with another pair of speakers, and I don't know how good my capture card's audio quality is going to be once I receive it next week, so for now that's just there. But yeah, you don't actually need these two commands, it's just everything here, and you want to end it with here. So after that, the next step you're going to want to do is you're going to want to switch your input devices from PS2 to virt-io. So from here, you just type arrow input arrow. Let me try that again. There we go. No second arrow, just input type mouse. Normally it'll say bus PS2 over here. You're going to want to change it to where it says virt-io, it'll say PS2 for you. Change it to virt-io on anything that says, for the first two things that say PS2 basically. I don't know what this is. I don't know why this is lingering around in my config. This might be left over from Spice, but it hasn't caused me any issues. I've noticed it's just generally the first input, the first mouse and the first keyboard are what need to be changed to virt-io for the best performance. And then once you're done that, you'll want to open up your virtual machine. You want to just travel over to your device manager, go into your input devices, and install the virt-io drivers that I'll be linking in the description. They're the same virt-io drivers that you would have had to install for the last video that I mentioned, so hopefully you still have those on hand. If not, it's not the end of the world. It is a 300 megabyte download, so depending on your internet, that can kind of suck. But if you still have that ISO saved, then you're in luck, because all you need to do is point it at inside of that driver pack, the VIO input section, and it'll install the virt-io drivers for your keyboard and mouse, therefore enabling basically perfect seamless basically seamless Evdev support. So, to top this off, if this doesn't, you should be golden at this point. You should be able to start up your virtual machine and everything should work. But every once in a while, depending on how your system is configured, you'll get permission errors. And if you get permission errors, what you need to do is you need to type sudo nano or your favorite text editor of choice. You could use mousepad or whatever. I personally use nano because I like to work from the terminal. etc libvirt-qemu.conf, and you'll want to go to this C group area here, scroll down a little bit, and you're going to want to enter this exact command here. You'll want to copy and paste this exactly as it is. I'll also be including this in my description, of course. But you'll have to modify dev input by path and dev input by ID to your own personal uses. If there's anything already in this part, leave it, don't touch it, that's there for a reason. But the dev input stuff, you're going to want to add if it's not there, and you're going to want to modify it to what you found out what your keyboard and mouse is. And then what you're going to do is you're going to want to hit save, you're going to want to cancel that, you're going to want to type sudo systemctl restart libvirt-d. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm actually in the middle of doing something with a virtual machine. And then everything should work. Although if it doesn't work at that point, there is one last ditch effort. And that is to go back into, I believe, let me see here. Yep, so your last ditch effort is to find the user equals area in your QEMU and enable user equals root. And if you do that, there's a chance that if you set up pulse audio, it'll break. But if your input's not working, even like with everything I've specified so far, then this is your best bet, and you might as well try to find another way to reroute your audio, because then it's at that point kind of a battle between do you want audio or seamless input more. But apart from that, that should be all fine and dandy. Once you have all that done, your virtual machine should work just fine. When your virtual machine loads at first, you will have 2 or 3 seconds where you don't have control of the mouse. Sometimes it comes back automatically, but if it doesn't, wait about another 3-4 seconds, then hit both control keys, and your input will go back into your Linux distribution. And if you hit the 2 control keys again, it'll go back into your virtual machine. And I'm not going to demonstrate it because I already have it demonstrated in a couple other videos that I've done. But that should do it for you. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, etc., just drop a comment down in the description. Give this a like if it's been informative and helpful in any way. And I'll also be linking to the passthrough post again. The people working on that website are amazing. They've helped with so many issues with KVM stuff. Like, I was lost until I started reading their tutorials. And yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic, fantastic day.